Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Mood616 here, and I'm back with part number 4 of my hip hop collection overview CD collection. Yeah, let's get right into it here. First up is Black Spade, To Serve With Love. Thought this album was pretty good, actually. Had a few choruses and stuff I wasn't quite digging, but it was pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it. Pretty laid back hip hop, pretty cool stuff. Blockhead. Music by Cave Light. Now, if you like instrumental hip-hop, this shit's where it's at, man. Blockhead is so fucking dope. One of my favorite instrumentalists of all time. Of course, he's done production for lots of cats, from Def Jux and stuff like A$AP Rock, but very awesome stuff. Next up is Blockhead's Downtown Science. It's actually what you're hearing in the background right now. I fucking love this record, man. I could listen to this shit every day. It's so fantastic. Really good melodies and it's just relaxing music. It's really relaxing. I love it. Great shit. Next up is Uncle Tony's Coloring Book by Blockhead. Another fantastic album. This one, he kind of incorporated a little bit more of up-tempo beats and stuff. Thought it was really well done, though. Really enjoyed it. Took me a couple spins to get into it, but I really enjoyed it. The music scene, again, another one that took me a couple spins, but this one really really liked that one too. Good stuff. And we have a little slimline. I got lots of these things in the collection. Peanuts in Your Mouth by Blockhead. It's basically just like remix and stuff that he's done. Pretty cool stuff. I think with a couple original tracks on there, I believe so also. Interludes After Midnight by Blockhead. Great stuff. Like I said, man, I don't think Blockhead has ever let me down. I always look forward to his instrumental records. Blueprint, 1988. I fucking love this album. Oh, this album is so fantastic. Lo-fi funk, 1988 trap boombox. Fuck, man, this whole album is just amazing stuff right there. And then next up we got Blueprint album from a couple years back. Adventures in Counterculture, I believe is the name of it. I thought this album was pure crap. Very experimental, but it just did not work for me. I thought it was a terrible listen. I was really disappointed with that album. Next up is Blue in Exile. Gimme Flowers While I Can Still Smell Them. That's the name of the record. As you probably noticed, I don't have Below the Heavens in here. I actually lost my copy of it. Well, I didn't lose it. It actually got stolen, but really fucking pisses me off. And it was actually like an original copy of it too. So I never picked up the reissue, but I eventually will. I do think the album is actually overrated, to be honest, but I think it's good, but I think it's overrated. Yeah, this one was okay. I didn't really dig it that much, to be honest. It was forgettable. Next up, the Blue Scholars. Self-titled album. This is fucking awesome. Fucking love this record from Seattle. Never heard of the Blue Scholars before. Definitely check these cats out. They're fucking awesome shit. Next up is Bayani. This was really good too, man. It wasn't as good as their self-titled record, but I thought this had some really choice cuts on it, man. Really funky stuff. And Cinematropolis. Visual soundtrack by Blue Scholars. This was a really interesting, different album that they kind of put out, but really enjoyed it. Thought it was fucking pretty cool shit. Next up, we got the Blue Sky Black Death Hellraiser collabo album, RZA's Ladder. This was fan-fucking-tastic. I love this album. I think it's just so good. Next up, Late Night Cinema, one of my favorite instrumental albums, like probably ever. I love this record. Blue Sky Black Death, very kind of versatile production duo. They produce quite a bit of different type of stuff. Like, if you've ever heard of Nacho Picasso's first couple, I think digital downloads, I guess, I don't know. The beats on there were done by Blue Sky Black Death, and they're so different from their instrumental stuff to the stuff that they do collabos with. Everything's real different. Slow Burning Light, this was not my favorite in the world. I thought it was decent, but it was pretty different. Then we got Noir. This was absolutely fucking astounding. I love this album so much. Another great instrumental record. That's so good. Then we got Glaciers, which was an interesting record. Had 5 tracks on it, and each track was roughly 9 to 12 minutes kind of thing, and very kind of visual instrumental music, and changes up quite a bit. It's very intriguing. I thought it was really fucking good, man. Bizarre Handicap Circus. This album is absolutely torture to listen to. It's so fucking horrendous. I only have this because I got it for free. I would never buy a Bizarre record. Absolutely fucking terrible album. Next up is Body Counts, self-titled record. Fuck, man, I was always a big fan of this shit, man. I thought it was pretty cool. But then again, I was a little biased because I was such a big Ice-T fan, but I thought that was pretty cool stuff. Next up, Body Counts, Murder for Hire. Not that great, actually. I do have their second album, Born Dead, actually, just on tape. I never upgraded it because whatever, but you know how it is. Some classic Boogie Down productions with Criminal Minded. What can I say about Criminal Minded? Just an amazing classic LP. Really fucking dope stuff, man. South Bronx is still my joint on this record, man. Love that album. Love that song. Next up, By All Means Necessary. This is the album that KRS-One did by himself after Scott LaRock perished. Such a sad story, but this is really dope, man. Really dope, man. I'm still number one. Probably one of the most sampled songs ever. My Philosophy. Classic joints, man. Real fucking awesome shit. Ghetto Music, Blueprint of Hip Hop. Boogie Down Productions. What can I say? Another fucking amazing album. I absolutely love it. Then we got Entertainment. Love this album, man. I really like listening to this album from top to bottom, even with all the interludes and stuff like that, all the exhibit interludes and shit. Really fun album, man. Always love that album. Really good shit. And the highly underrated Sex and Violence. Now, this album seems to get a lot of shit, or take a lot of shit, but I think this album's pretty fucking fun, man. I know it's a lot different than all the other Boogie Down Production albums, but really good shit in my opinion. Next up, we got the Boogie Down Productions Blastmaster Tapes, Best of the B-Boy Sessions. This is like, it's got like a bunch of, D-Nice and stuff, and alternate mixes, and a lot of older stuff, like extended cuts and shit. It's pretty fucking cool, man. I really like listening to that. Next up, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Creeping on a Come Up EP. I don't really give a shit when anyone says this is fucking good. I really enjoyed this, man. I remember picking this up when it first came out back in the day and just loving it. It's great. The summer of, what was this, 95, so I would have been 15 years old when this shit dropped. I remember me and like all my buddies went out to the store, all bought a copy of this. I think it was like 6 of us. Probably the most played album I've ever played in a summer of my life, I swear. Was a big fan. I know, you either like them or you don't, but that's fine. I don't really care. Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Art of War. I thought the first disc on this album was fucking awesome. Second disc is pretty shitty in my opinion, but it does have Thug Love with Pac. I think it's pretty cool, but kind of a downgrade. Bone Thugs and Harmony Resurrection. This was awesome, man. This album took me a long time to get into, but over time I just really enjoyed it, man. It's got some really cool cuts. Good shit. Thug World Order. Not that great by any means. Couple cool cuts on there. I think this is the one with Home featuring, I think Phil Collins. Use the Phil Collins sample. Bone, actually it's not a sample, I think it's actually featuring him. Bone for Life. I think this was like an exclusive website kind of pickup that I grabbed just because, whatever, it's not really that great. Bone Thugs and Harmony Thug Stories. I believe this was just like, put together by tracks that were like left off albums and stuff. I think that's what happened with this one. Not the greatest, but still Bone. Strength and Loyalty. This has got to be the most mainstream sounding album. Yeah, whatever. Thugs. Actually, I think this one might have been put together, but decent. Uni 5, The World's Enemy. This is when everyone was back together, and I believe that they actually have a new album out. Was put out last year, whatever. I just haven't gone around to picking up. It's not really my thing anymore, but you know how it is. Boog Brown, Paula Brown, Brown Study. I know a lot of people shit on this one because Boog Brown is a female MC. I thought this was dope as shit. Thought it was really fucking good. Next up, one of my favorite albums, Boogie Monsters, Riders of the Storm, the Underwater album. Love this fucking record, man. So dope, man. So dope. I wish more people had heard that one. And then they dropped a follow-up album called God's Sound. Now, this album right here wasn't overly the, the greatest, but I thought it actually had some pretty choice cuts on it, man. Pretty good shit. Next up, Boom Bap Project. Reprogram. This was fucking dope. I think these guys are also from, I want to say from the Midwest, so like Seattle area, just by me. Pretty cool stuff. Boot Camp Click for the People. I always thought this album could have been a lot better, but over the years it's got a lot of replay value for me, man. Illinois, man. Illinois. That song is so sick. Next up is Boot Camp Clip, The Chosen One. Decent. You know, it's got some pretty cool cuts on it. Then we got Boot Camp Click. The fuck is the name of this album? The Last Stand, that's right. Again, decent. You know, all these albums, I think, in my opinion, could have been better. Casualties of War, I thought, was actually pretty fucking good. Had some pretty cool cuts on there. We got Bored Stiff here from San Francisco. Really, really cool, tight shit, man. I think it's really dope shit. Ghetto Research. This is awesome. Boss, Born Gangsters. I remember having this on tape back in the day, and I came across it on CD one time in a small store, I think actually in Seattle, and I got it for like $5, so I had to grab that. It was fucking cheap. Bubba Sparks, Dark Days, Bright Nights. I always thought that was pretty cool. Deliverance, to this day, I still really enjoy listening to this album. It's pretty much the only Bubba Sparks records I can listen to. Everything after is, oh god, it's like torture. Buck Wild, Digging in the Crates. I believe I did this on a Funky Friday episode. This is just amazing. Double disc. I know this is out of print and hard to find now, but if you can get your hands on this shit, man, this is amazing fucking stuff right there. Bushwick Bill, The Little Big Man. I always thought that record was fucking hilarious. It's got the sequel to Chucky, Chuckwick. Fucking hilarious, man. Phantom of the Rapper. Always loved this album, man. What You Gonna Do? Who's the Biggest? Little Motherfucker's Crazy. Braille 4. This is really good shit, man. For being pretty much like a Christian MC, I think he is. Good shit, though, man. Really enjoy it. Brand Nubian. One for All, classic record. Can never get enough of Dedication, man. Dedication, Wake Up, Slow Down. Oh man, I could go on and on. That album is just fucking amazing. And then Grand Puba left the group, and In God We Trust happened, and then we got fucking Punks Jump Up to Get Beat Down, which is fucking amazing. Actually passed the GAT. I love this album, man. It's really good. It's grimy. A lot different than the first record. Everything is Everything to this day is still my favorite album. I love everything on this, from Word Is Bond all the way to Hold On. My favorite song on the album is Claiming I'm a Criminal. I love that fucking track, man. It's so dope. Brand Nubian Foundation. Good stuff. Really good stuff, actually. Fire in the Hole. Not the greatest, you know. Yeah, it's okay. And then Time's Running Out. Now, I believe that this album was actually supposed to be the original Foundation record. They didn't go with it. They went with the Foundation, but this one actually has some of the original tracks on it and stuff. But otherwise, got a bunch of other newer tracks, left off tracks like Rockin' It and shit. But cool stuff. The BDI Thug by Buckshot. Be Real, Smoke and Mirrors. Not really that great. I got a promo copy of Brooklyn Academy Board of Education here, and I actually got the legit copy right here. This is pretty cool stuff. Yeah, there's some pretty good cuts on there. It's not overly that great though. Brothers Bent from Up From the Desert. I believe this. I did this on a Funky Friday episode also. This is awesome. One of the best fucking albums, man. In 2000s, in my opinion. I think it's so great. Next up, Champion EP by Brother Ali. Awesome stuff. Now, I'm actually missing Shadows on the Sun because my copy got stolen, actually. Well, actually, I don't know if it got stolen. I think it might have been hiding in my car when I sold it. So, I'll just go with stolen. The Undisputed Truth. Decent. The Truth Is Here EP. I actually really like that. Us. I actually really enjoy Us, man. I know a lot of people were kind of hit and miss on this one, but I thought it was really good. Then we got Morning and American, Dreaming in Color. This was actually grew on me like crazy, man. Yeah, at first I wasn't really feeling it, but it's really good though. And then last up is the Bums, Brothers Unto Madness. Now, I think I always wanted to do this as a Funky Friday episode, but I never did. Really, really laid back West Coast hip hop, man. Kind of in the vein of like the Nonce or something like that. Really awesome shit, man. Hard to find on a print album now, but you know how it goes. So anyways, that's going to do it for part 4. I will be finishing up with the B's and onto the C's in next part. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments down below. Peace.